So I am delighted to introduce my dear colleague from the Classics Department, Karelisa Hartigan. Karelisa has been a professor of classics for 35 years at the University of Florida. I've always known that she had another life, and that is her love of the theater, going back to her undergraduate days and even before. She grew up in a theater community and spent many college hours in theater. She began doing and training in improv in the year 2000. Some 14 years ago, she started a program using improv for the rehabilitation of veterans. She first offered an improv class at the Senior Center in 2016, and many of today's performers have been doing that class. Today, she will be offering some scenes demonstrating the skill and power of improv. So Karelisa, thank you to you for bringing your troupe, and thank you for your troupe to come and join us at OCAMIC. And so I'm going to turn it over to you.
Let me just mention real quick. Oh, I am so sorry.
Thank you, Sheila.
I am aware that the screen is flashing. I apologize. I don't know what it is. Thank you.
So before anybody panics and runs for the door, you are not going to be called to the stage. We will ask you to answer some questions perhaps, but we will not bring you up here and expect you to do something. Some people's knowledge of improv is from whose line it is it anyway, and we're not doing that either. So we have, as Sheila says, I've been doing various types of improv for since 2000, and most of it has involved storytelling. And so we're going to show you improv today that demonstrates how people tell stories without any preliminary investigation or thought. Improv is wonderful because you don't have to memorize lines. On the other hand, you have to make it all up at the moment. So everything that you see today is made up right here. Nobody's been prompted or told what's going to happen other than the outline of the program we're going to do. So let me bring in my troupe. Vani, will you please come in, first being angry and then being accepting? Anne, will you please come in, first being cowardly and then being brave? Vi, will you please come in, first being depressed and then being euphoric? Sally, will you please come in being friendly and then being unfriendly? Anne, will you first come in being hated and then being loved? And Judith, will you first come in being the master and then being the servant? Thank you. Okay, will you all introduce yourselves, please? Tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Judith, and I'm a member of the Senior Center in Gainesville, and the member of this group. We're called SCITS, Senior Center Improv Troupe. And it's been my pleasure to have been in your group now, Karelisa, about 5, 6 years, something like that. And we have great fun, great fun. Most of the time, we don't know what we're doing, but she sets us straight.
And my name is Shanti Vani. I've been in Gainesville since 1979 and with this group for a few years. I retired from medical work in 2020 and my specialty is grief. I teach curricula that I've written about grief.
Hi, I'm Vi. It's Violet, but most people call me Vi. And I have lived in this area for over 25 years. I lived in Micanopy for a long time. Anyway, I'm a retired educator. I taught in middle school, high school, most of my years in a community college and the University of Florida. I love teaching, but I love improv too.
Hi, it's a delight to be here. I'm Ann McClure. I moved to Gainesville 6 years ago to be closer to a son and grandchildren and so on. And one of the first things I did was go to the rec center, senior rec center, and signed up. And when I told my son I was going to be an improv group, he said, "Oh, that'll be great. You'll be great at that." And I always kept wondering why he thinks that I'd have been great at it. What did I do? I don't know. But anyway, it is a delight to be here.
Well, hello. Thank you for having us. It's delightful. My name is Ann Roberts, and I'm a new person in Gainesville. And I just stumbled upon this group, and I love it because you cannot do anything wrong. You just have to have fun. It's lovely.
Hi, I'm Sally Kimberly, and I've been in Gainesville since 1985, and I've been in this group since the beginning, 2016. I am a retired nurse practitioner and nurse midwife. I worked for UF and College of Medicine, and I love improv. I do a lot of improv, and I also like to play the ukulele.
Any program with improv that you're going to take as a class begins with the mantra of improv, which is yes and. The mantra of improv is to listen and accept. Just listen. You can't play with a partner if you don't listen to them. And you have to accept their world. No buts in improv. It's always yes and. And so that you carry on a world where people listen to you, really listen to you, not just waiting till you shut up so you can say your thing, but really listen to you and then add to it and accept it. So we'll run a quick run down the line of yes and then start our demonstration of little scenes. So I will start off and I will pass this down. I'll get them when I start the scene. So this will just pass down. We are happy to be in this venue today where we've never been before.
Yes, we've never been here before. And I found a wonderful cup of tea.
Yes, I found a wonderful cup of tea and I really wanted coffee.
Yes, and I really wanted coffee. And it turned out it was delicious.
Yes, it turned out it was delicious. And I don't drink caffeine anyway, so I'll have to take her word for it.
Yes, I don't drink caffeine anyway, and I have to take her word for it. Although, and oh my goodness, I'm the newbie. And it doesn't matter anyway.
Yes, it doesn't matter anyway, because, because we're having a good time here and we get all the coffee we want if we want it.
Okay, I need 2 people for doors from the homeowners association. Doors. Homeowners association. Many of you know about homeowners association, right?
Yes. Is this on? Yes. Yeah, we pretend like we're from the homeowners association. Do you want to knock or you want?
Knock, knock, knock.
Well, hello there. How are you?
I'm fine. The question is, how are you?
Well, I think I'm all right. Is there a problem?
Well, I don't know yet. Could you let me in?
Well, certainly come on in.
Uh, yes, we got it. We had a call concerning your house and something going on in here that I wasn't sure if we needed to investigate or not. What are those? What are those, all those things there?
Well, that's just my collection. I have a vast doll collection, and I think I've got about 372 dolls.
Dolls, yes, but what are those things moving around in and among those dolls? What is that?
Oh, let me look. Oh, it seems like we have some mice. Oh, aren't they cute? I just
well,
love mice.
Yes, we've heard there were mice running up and down the hallway out here, and your neighbors were very concerned.
Oh, no, not to be concerned. I love mice. I
Uh,
feed them every chance I get.
oh, so those are your pets?
yeah. Oh, sure.
How
And I
many?
keep getting more and more pets every day.
Well,
It's just amazing.
They reproduce like bunnies.
Yes, they do.
So how many do you have in here?
Well, I've never counted them, but there's Leo and there's Margaret.
Oh, oh my goodness.
And
I'm
then
so sorry.
there's all their children over there. We haven't named them yet. We call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I'm-
7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm so sorry.
You are?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Well, do
Because-
you want some of my pets? You can have some. I've got
Yes, I
some to
will take
spare.
all of them.
You would?
Yes, I'll take all of them. And I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen because, but I will. I'll take them all. Let me go get a box.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Are you sure? You're
Yes,
really
I'll be
coming
right
back?
back. Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay, little fellas. You've got to come over here. Get ready.
Okay, 2 more people for doors at the homeowners association. Judith? Mike,
Knock, 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 knock.
Yes, how may I help you?
Oh, at first I thought you might not even be home. Hi, I'm from the Homeowners Association. You remember me?
Oh, yes.
We met when you first moved in.
Yes.
Yes, but when you first moved in, your house was like all one color. It was kind of a nice beige. And I've been told now that from each side, it's a different color. And people are complaining a little bit about that. I mean, it isn't just me being a complainer. The neighbors have made comments.
About the color of my home.
No, the colors of your
It doesn't
home.
matter. I love color all around me, and I pay my dues, and I will paint this house whatever color I want to.
Well, there are some rules. We
There
do
are?
have rules.
Really?
Yes, and if you don't have a copy, I will be sure to get one to you because depending on what side you're standing on, it's described as a different color. It's red. And then if you're from the backyard, then it's yellow.
Yes.
Yes. And then green if you're a neighbor on this side.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a little much. And it is against the rules.
Well, let me just tell you something about your rules, madam. Those rules can go straight to the trash. I said
Oh.
trash can. And let me just tell you, I am a woman that I love color. Can you tell? I've got every
Yes.
color in the rainbow on. And madam, let me just tell you, that is how it feeds my spirit. And I'm going to be a yellow and a blue and a green and a white and everything. So you might as well take your copy of your coloration or whatever it is and go back to your office and look it up. I pay my dues, and if you don't like my colors, that's too bad for you. Let's talk the other people into painting their houses. Thank you so much.
Here's another copy of the
Thank you.
rules.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
and
yes,
you'll
yes.
be hearing from the rest of us.
Bye.
Okay, one more round of homeowners.
Knock, knock, knock.
I'm not sure I want to open this one. Yes, can I help you?
Good day. I'm from the Homeowners Association.
Oh, maybe another day.
No, no,
No,
I
no?
just came to make sure that everything was all right
Okay.
because you just moved in last week. and
Yes.
We're just welcoming you and, what's that? Is that a snake?
No, 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 no. You must be mistaken.
Yeah, it looks like a snake. It's pretty big.
Well,
No,
we're
no,
good.
you
We're
can't-
good. We're good.
You wouldn't want a snake in your house.
Well, I mean, no, not per se, but I mean, like we just started moving in, like you said, so we haven't had a chance to put all the cages and all the, the big things to accommodate all that. So right now they're kind of like figuring out where the apartment is and which room is which, I mean, like, come on, they need
Well,
to
you're
know.
going to have that right away into some kind of container. You can't have a snake. You
No, no,
can't have a snake.
But at least it's not one of those invasive species. Look, it's a completely worthless boa. He is such a nice guy.
It's a
Oh,
boa?
yeah, I will let you hear.
Oh my word.
Bobby, come over here, my love. Oh, look. Bobby, come and meet this nice lady. See how nice he is?
I may have to call the sheriff's department.
No, sheriff. No
Going
sheriff.
way beyond the homeowners.
Okay, I'll put him back inside. Come on, Bobby, you can do it. Okay, here you go, Bobby. He's fine. He's
Oh,
fine. He's
You're
fine.
not scared?
No, as long as you feed him, he's fine.
He's going to squeeze you.
No, he's no squeezing. No, you have to feed him.
No, well, I'm sorry, and we're glad that you've moved here.
Thank
But
you.
we don't want your snake moving here.
Well, I mean, like, do you have an
What
alternative?
if he got loose? What if he came to my house?
No, he won't come into your house. He's very attached to me, aren't you, Bobby?
Oh my, no, this just will never do, never do.
Okay, so here's the deal. I will call my son and I will tell him to take Bobby for a little while until we figure something better. Is that going to work out for you?
Well, I think your son will have to be the new owner because if you're going to live here, snakes are to the boo. Today, that's my word to you.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye.
Next, we're going to do a little exercise called past, present, and past. We can take these two chairs over. No, just two over there, fine.
Is this on? Is this on? Is it on? Okay.
Hey, I wondered if you'd come.
Oh, yes, I wouldn't miss this for the world. I haven't seen you in so long. I'm so
No,
glad to
it's
see
just,
you.
I can't believe how they've redone the theater. Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, my goodness, it's just
Put so much
gorgeous.
money into it and it's just gorgeous.
I know. And you know what this reminds me of? I was so jealous of you when we were younger and we used to act here and we used to do our, our singing and
Oh,
our
I know, we had such
dancing.
fun on this stage and now
I
it's
know.
kind of new. It was kind of fun when it was old and creaky, you know.
Yeah, but you got all the lead roles. I mean, you were definitely the star. I was so jealous because I was always in the chorus. Oh,
But do you
but we had so
remember,
much fun.
but you remember the time that the prop girl was mad at us?
Oh my goodness, yes. And
You know, the phone is supposed to ring and it doesn't.
right. Oh, it was so funny. And
We did it.
props-
We couldn't exactly say, "Hey, prop girl, we know we need a phone."
yeah, and it wouldn't be where in this place it's supposed to be. And oh my goodness, and it would ring when it wasn't supposed to. And
The doors would creak open. I mean,
oh my goodness.
those were the
Yeah,
days.
yeah. But you bore the brunt of all that because you were the star.
I know. I know.
Yeah, yeah.
God, I hope Sally turns the phones on tonight.
Oh my gosh, she was so mad. She was so mad at you.
I know. I
Yeah,
know.
you
I
said-
mean, I came on every comedy opens, a British comedy opens when the phone rings and the maid comes in. So I come in and there's no phone. You know?
Yeah, and well, I was the maid and I was looking all over for it. I felt like so stupid. And I think you were mad at me too, because I could not find the phone.
And then I'd say, "Miss James, did you by any chance hear the phone?" And you'd say,
And I said, oh my dear, I don't know what happened to the phone. I think someone stole the phone.
I mean,
Yes, and we didn't even have a detective in that show.
yeah, if we had
So-
the detective in the show, he could have found out
He
who took
could
the
have found the
phones.
phone.
Jeez, we should talk
Oh.
to the playwright.
That was terrible. But you did such a good job of improvising. I mean, you could just come up with
I didn't
things
know what our future would be, did I?
right off the top of your head. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was just in awe of you, as I still am, because I mean, you've become so famous and everything.
Well, yes, you know, it's been fun, and I do miss the old smell of the grease paint and the roar of the crowds and all
Oh,
that.
yes. Oh, yes. Well, I kind of got out of that when I got married and had 16 kids, but you just kept on with it.
Yeah, I just have to get at home and run on the stage, you know? That's what you got to do. Put your career first, is what I always say. Put
That's-
your career first.
That's what I should have done.
Well, those
Those were the days. Yes, those were the days. Oh,
we
man.
survived. We survived. I miss it though.
Yeah.
Smell of the grease paint, the roar of the crowds.
You know, there's a new play out
Really?
that stars two old ladies. Maybe we could do that one.
Yeah.
Let's pursue it and maybe find a director.
Yeah, we don't want to do typecasting though.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it has to be a play that doesn't require much walking
Right.
or listening or talking.
Not too many lines. And the
Yeah,
last time I was on a stage, I had to lie down. I couldn't get back up. You know, that's when I had.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we should pursue it. We're not that old.
No, not that old.
Trick.
Oh my God. I can't believe he just walked by again.
I know.
Ah.
Thinks he's something, doesn't he?
Oh, that Jimmy boy. Ugh.
He's
yeah.
been the same ever since I ever knew him.
Well, and that's been like, what, 50 years,
100
right?
years.
No, 100, yeah. Well, between that, 75 probably. God, but he's still as hot as ever. Oh my God, did you see how he walks? He's like real
No.
steady on his feet.
He thinks he's hot.
Well,
And he acts like he's hot, but I don't know.
you missed something. Oh, well,
Uh,
you just got to have the eyes to see it, I guess.
You're just thinking about way back when we were in high school. I
Excuse
mean, you're bringing
me.
all that in.
Well, what, have you lost it? The ability to see a hot guy when there's one right in front of you.
Well, there's some who are hot and some who think they're hot. I go for the ones who really are hot.
Oh, boy. Well, tell me more.
Think back to what it was like in the old days in high school. Those were
Oh.
the days.
Oh, God.
Man,
Oh, they worked us out so hard in gym. I hate those little onesies you have to wear, the blue
I know.
onesies.
But I notice you love wearing them, especially when that Jimmy walks by.
Well, I was on the, what do you call it? The bar that you walk across? Balance beam. I was on the balance beam and I was like tipping and he was like over there looking at me. I swear he was.
Who was looking at whom?
No, I was busy being balanced. He was looking at me.
Yeah. Well, the boys never look at me anyway, so I don't care.
Well, because you're not looking at him. You got to like give him the eye, What do you,
Yeah, and then they think they're so hot. Nah.
do you like girls? Maybe
Well,
some,
Well, not like that. No,
maybe.
I mean, girls are fun. We go to the movies and all that stuff. But those guys, I don't know. I've got a lot to offer, but they just don't seem to notice.
Well, you got to show them. You got to show them. You got to get up there, do a dance or something, or just kind of strut around. Try it. Walk, do this. Come on. Oh my God, you should have seen what just happened. Do something like dramatic like that. Come on. Show us. Your arm's flapping around too much. Put a little poise on it.
Oh, you'll never believe what just happened. How about that?
Oh, well, the tone was like down, down. You'll never believe what just happened.
It's
Try
so
it
fakey. It's so fakey.
It's just fun. Can't you just have
No.
some fun?
I don't know.
I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always felt like I had to like drag you along. Such
Well,
a
you did.
party
I mean,
pooper.
you were embarrassing me, for heaven's sake. Sashaying around and everything. Well, I finally got me a good man anyway, so who cares?
Oh, tell me about him.
You've met him before.
Mm,
I don't think he's your type.
Uh,
I don't think I'll introduce him to you, actually.
is it Bob? If it's Bob, he already knows me.
Yeah, they all know you.
Oh, not like that. God.
Well,
me
I've
more.
had a happy life without having to walk on a balance beam and sashay around. I mean, I'm appreciated for the person I am. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there like oopsies? Oh.
Oh,
Who's on?
you hold the mics. No? Oh, you're on.
Truth or lie.
Oh, okay.
Now we're going to do a little game which is sort of thing is popular in many types of shows. And we often do it with two lies, two truths and a lie. But today we're going to have, one of us is going to tell a story that's true, and the other one's going to tell a story that's a lie. And you will have to figure out which one of us is the liar. Judith here is going to give us a piece of paper which will say truth or lie.
You want to
Most-
go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Most of the time, you would think that I am an honest person, good citizen, all that. But once upon a time, not that long ago, but longer ago than perhaps it should be, I was traveling and we were in Marseille. And I went into the store, wanted to buy one of those lavender sachet things, which I picked out and gave to the man a 20 € note for a $5 purchase, €5 purchase. And he gave me back a torn old 5. And I said, but I gave you a 20, of course, speaking perfect French. And he said, no, madame, you gave me a 5. I said, no, I gave you a 20. He said, no, you gave me a 10. So I realized I wasn't going to win anything out of this. So he just stuffed the money back in his till, and I sashayed towards the door. And as I left, I helped myself to another sachet of lavender and a tea towel and a tile and filled my bag with 20 € of stuff and left the store.
Okay, well, mine is easier to remember. Hers was years ago. Mine happened Sunday. I was driving through Gainesville, and on Sunday there isn't quite as much traffic, but I was in a left turn lane. A lot of cars waiting over there, coming across, and my arrow went. So I turned a little toward the left, and all of a sudden, this pickup truck came roaring past. He'd been waiting to turn left, but then decided to go straight, and he went right in front of my car. And he was just missing me when suddenly his bumper that was sticking out a little further scraped my grill on the front of my car. So I was shocked, and eventually I managed to continue the left turn and park over by the curb. This side swiping and T-boning and stuff I've heard about. This is the first time it's happened to me. And so other people stopped also to see if I was okay, because I was like, wide-eyed and shocked. And one man came up and he said, listen, I know he drove off and just left you here, but I was driving behind him over on the other street, and he had an unusual license plate, so I remembered it. It's kind of a strange one. And so he wrote it down and gave it to me. And that didn't help too much, but meanwhile, a policeman came. And I hope I'm remembering all this in the right order, because I still was kind of dumbfounded at the whole thing. But a policeman did come, and I said, well, look, this man gave me this license plate. Can you kind of seek it out? And he said, oh, yes, ma'am, we'll do that. We'll trace him down and see what we can do. So I drove home. That was Sunday. This is Tuesday. I'm kind of waiting. If anybody wants to know how this story ends, you can leave me your name and phone number, and I'll let you know when I hear back from the police.
So which one of us is telling a true story and which one of us is lying?
How many realized that I was the honest person in this pair,
How many people?
telling the truth?
How many people think Anne was telling the truth? How many people think I was telling the truth?
Ha, I win.
No, but I was telling the truth.
Really. If, if you have the reputation as being a good liar, even in an improv group, is that good?
Okay, now we're going to do an exercise. Three different people are going to do this exercise. It has the unlikely name of Orlando Monologues, although nobody knows why it's called that, and it didn't start in Orlando. But anyway, I'm going to ask you to reach into this bag and pull something out. Will someone come and tell a story with this?
My baby. My baby, sweet green baby. Oh, so soft. Oh, I've missed you. Where were you? I don't know. He has a way to run around. Like he kind of bounces a little bit, you know, that kind of a guy. Green hair and all. Isn't he cute? Oh, come on. Irresistible. Oh, and the smell of plastic. Oh, you could eat him. No, I mean, no such thing. Anyway, we go back a long way. We do. He was with me in Paris when I moved. And yeah, I mean, like I had a little bit of explaining to do at the customs office because at the time they weren't so sure that this was legal to bring. So we had to determine whether it had like some sort of gel, like what kind of content of liquid. I wasn't going to sacrifice my guy and get him opened, for goodness sake. So I had to put an affidavit. I had to sign papers to say that no, he was just solid green plastic. So anyway, we made it together from Paris. And since then, we've moved about in this country from Arizona, where he was a big hit among the cactuses. Can you tell why? And then, of course, we moved on the East Coast, upstate New York, where, well, it wasn't quite matching the vegetation as well, but it was a lot of fun. Like on the snow, he kind of like stood up, and it was a lot of fun to see all the little kids wonder what he was all about. And then, of course, you know, years later, I married and I had children. Oh, get back over here. And my kids seemed to have adopted him, and he had so many nicknames. I mean, Curly. No, Curly, I don't see it. Red, not either. My kids have a lot of imagination. We did Boo Boo, as in Tutu, as in, anyway, he had a lot of little nicknames. We are inseparable. I hope you like him too. I am going to take him back. Thank you so much.
Hey, will you reach in and find something?
Oh, this brings back such memories. Such memories. You see, I went to China. I lived in China. I lived there for 5 years. And mainly, while I was in China, I fanned myself because they had so many fans. And every day I try to get a different one. I'd borrow one from a neighbor, or I'd go down to the market and get a new one. I had 35 fans the first year. The second year, it had grown to 66. Oh, and some fans are better than others. Did you know that? They're not all. I mean, you can use a paper fan, for goodness sake, and that doesn't do much. Even if it's really hot, look at over there. She's fanning herself because she's hot. But oh, you have to have a real fan. Oh, then you're cool. And it's various times in life. When you're a child, it's just fun. When you're in your 20s, you can use it, you know. You can use it to look at people. And they hiding behind, and then you carefully bring it down so they see you. When you're in your late 40s, you're doing it because you're just so hot. Oh, there's so many different uses for fans. And I'm not sure that I still have. I was there for 5 years. And I came back to the United States, and people just didn't appreciate the fans like I did. I tried to give them away as gifts. And they said, "Really? That's what you're giving me, a fan?" So I stopped giving fans as a gift. Then I started giving them in garage sales. And they only would get like 25 cents. And some of them were expensive, very expensive for even in China, they were expensive. So I didn't want to just sell them for 25 cents. So I didn't know what to do with them. And then I heard there was going to be a fundraiser at Oakhammock. And so I gave them all to Oakhammock. By this time, I had, let's see, I think it was 286 fans. And I think they were the hottest number in the fundraiser. Everybody wanted them.
And Sheila, will you pick something out of the bag? All right.
Oh, this is so lovely. This is a heart, and it reminds me very much of my lover, Eduardo. I met Eduardo in Madagascar, but he was from Portugal. And he didn't know it, but I spoke fluent Portuguese. But I didn't let on. I let him try to teach me. And he thought he was the best teacher in the whole world because I already knew Portuguese. And then we traveled to Nepal, and there was this magnificent music in Nepal. It was just lovely. And he asked me in Portuguese, of course, if I knew how to tango. And I said, well, yes, but that usually isn't done in Nepal. And he said, well, we'll show him. And so we started doing the Portuguese tango in Nepal. And before long, we had this big audience. Even musicians were forgetting to play because they had never seen anybody do the Portuguese tango before. But it was magnificent. And unfortunately, Eduardo was captured in the Straits of Hormuz by a bunch of pirates. And I don't know whatever happened to him, but I still have this heart and all those wonderful memories.
Okay, we'll bring up one more chair, and we're going to do our last form, which is called Goon River. Again, who knows why it's called Goon River. And in the town of Goon River, Each of the citizens who is participating will introduce themselves. And now they will learn what's going on in Goon River that they have to worry about. Okay, we're now in the town of Goon River, and it's wintertime, and the town is planning its annual winter festival. Always an exciting time when winter festival occurs in Goon River.
My name is Elaine, and I have a business where we have the bounce houses. And in the winter, we don't usually have a lot of business for bounce houses. So what I decided to do was to create a slip and slide, but make it icy so the kids could really slide. So I'm really excited about our event coming up.
My name is Roberta, and I'm a sheriff's deputy. And I try to keep this town safe. And this is a lot of work when they have this festival, because there's just people who want to do things like slippy slides and things like that can be very dangerous. I mean, I can't be there 24 hours a day. So I hope the danger only happens between 8 and 5.
Hi, my name is Hortensia, and my hobby is to get people to put maple syrup on ice cream, on snow, and it just tastes really good. It makes a really nice icy treat. The problem is we haven't had much snow this year for our winter carnival, and I am not sure how I'm going to manage this. But it's very important because I am the mayor's wife and I cannot fail in this. I have to come up with our maple ice cream.
Hi, my name is Mary Lou, and I'm 8. And they told me there's going to be a slip and slide. And then too, you're going to have to eat maple syrup when you're slipping and sliding. I can't wait for it to begin. Oh, I want to do some slipping and sliding. I don't care what my mom says.
So I have a lot of things to think about in preparing for this event because I've never done this before. I'm wondering if the bounce house would work. Depending on the weather, we could still have some bouncing. I might have to put a little heater in there to blow some hot air. And then the icy slide would have to be in a separate area. And you know what? I have to look into insurance because there are young children who are going to want to play. And I think we should probably have each one ride in their grandmother's lap. Don't you think that would be a good idea? So they'll be safe because there's nothing safer than a grandmother. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Oh my, oh my. It gets worse and worse. What am I going to do? I guess I have to stand at that slip and slide all day. But even if somebody gets hurt, then what would I do? I'd have to call 911. The sheriff's deputy has to call 911. That would be strange, wouldn't it? But I have no medical experience. I only have experience against crime. And I heard there were tickets. So maybe there will be some crime, people trying to steal the tickets rather than pay.
Well, I think I have a solution. There's this gal that's going to do a slip and slide with ice. So I can slip in the dead of night and steal some of that ice and put it in my mix master, which will make it kind of snowy. And then I'll take my maple syrup and pour it over Nobody will know the difference. This should really work.
Yeah, and I've got a friend whose name is Johnny, and we're going to go and we're gonna, when nobody's looking and my mom thinks I'm in bed, I'm gonna go out and we're gonna get the maple syrup and we're gonna put it through the roof of the bouncy house. And then when the ice is all made and the slushy stuff is all made, then we can do the maple syrup until when people come to slide and they bring their grandmas, yeah, the grandmas can't move because they stuck to the maple syrup.
Well, I don't know. I'm really having to rethink this because the grandmothers might not want to go down the slip and slide. And the moms, they're going to be with their little ones, their babies. And I don't want babies going on my slip and slide because it's too dangerous. So I'm thinking I better see if we could get some security officers to watch over everything because it's just too much for me. I can't handle it.
Well, finally, people are getting sense. We're bringing in security officers from the next town, and they will help you. And because there is crime, somebody was going to steal the ice for their vendor. Anyway, we can't have that. And then the children were thinking of all sorts of silly things to do, off of roofs and everything. We can't have that. We don't want to cancel the festival, but we're just on the verge of doing that if it hadn't been that some people started having some sense and we're bringing in recruitments.
Well, I'm doomed. I don't know I'm afraid my husband won't get reelected. I was out in the dead of night trying to get the ice, and this little girl named Mary Lou came in with all of her friends, and they saw me taking the ice, and then were these security guys, and they saw us all, and they got upset because the kids were there, and that wasn't safe, and I was stealing, and I'm in a big bunch of trouble. Oh, I'm never going to do this winter festival again.
Oh, this is such fun. We got the police, we got the security guards, and we got the mayor's wife, and she's crying. Because guess what? We saw her taking the ice, and she was just looking at us. And we said, "We saw you." And oh man, it was so exciting. And then I heard my mama said, "Mary Ann, come over here right now." "Okay, mama, but I'm stuck. I can't come because I got all that syrup all over me. Please help me."
Okay. Nobody knew it was going to be Winter Festival, so everybody was taking on a part, as you saw. And that's the close of our scenes and demonstrations. Often we end a program, and I'm going to ask you now with a little exercise called Fortunately and Unfortunately. So why don't I have a troupe demonstrate this first? Sally, start us off with a fortunately, and then we'll move on to you. You won't have to do anything scary, I promise.
Fortunately, we are at the end of this wonderful program, which I'm sure we all enjoyed. I'm so fortunate to be here.
Unfortunately, none of you have fallen asleep yet.
Oh, fortunately, all the mics worked and you all looked great out there, even smiling once in a while.
Unfortunately, we don't give many programs.
Fortunately, we gave this one.
Unfortunately, I've got to go home in syrup.
And fortunately, we're going to pass it on to you. So you start off with a fortunately and then an unfortunately. Fortunately, something. Anything you want.
Fortunately, I don't know anything about improv, so I'm just playing your game.
Unfortunately, I skipped lunch to come here for this show.
Fortunately, I finished my coffee before this ended here.
Unfortunately, it's over and it was so delightful.
Fortunately, we all made it here today, and that's very special. And it's fun to meet you. And some of you we know, but others we don't. And so we have the fortunate opportunity.
Unfortunately, I don't often laugh quite as much as I have during this presentation.
Fortunately.
Fortunately, you guys have.
Unfortunately, we'll never have experiences like this. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know.
Fortunately, I can say something, but I don't really know what to say. So
Unfortunately, I know too much to say, so I'm not going to say.
Fortunately, I think that you've got something great going that will help many people.
Unfortunately, I guess we're too programmed here to be improv.
Fortunately, I'm very happy to be here and see all of you doing such cute things.
Unfortunately, we don't have you scheduled for your next appearance.
Fortunately, those of us that were here got to laugh and have such a good time. Thank you.
Okay, now another game which we always do, and I even do it with the veterans. I'm going to say a word, and the last letter of my word is going to be the first letter of your word, and we'll pass it along like that. So I'm going to say, fortunately. You have to start with
Yes.
Sober. I don't know.
That's it. You have to say a word with R, starting with R.
With R?
And then PQR.
Okay. No. The word she passed on was sober.
thank you for coming. Thank.
She wants to thank us.
Thank you.
Rats.
No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, darling.
Goodness gracious.
And you get an S.
Super.
They gave you super.
Radical.
Lovely afternoon. Never.
Really?
Youngster.
And she gave you an R. You said youngster. You get an R. Begin with R. Any word that begins with R.
Oh, really?
Gave you a Y.
Yesterday, I didn't believe it would be here.
Everybody here? Evidently. Yes.
Okay, very good.
Karelisa, thank you, and thank you, troop. You guys were all very, very good. Great fun, and I have a question, and that is, how do you do it? Do you have to have the gift to gab in order to be
Everybody,
successful at this?
all of these people, 6 years ago, when they signed up at the Improv at the Senior Center, they said, came to me and they said, I'm really very shy and I don't like to speak in front of people. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. And they're not shy at all, are they?
Yeah. And very creative. So I really think it's a wonderful skill to have had fun practicing, and we're glad you shared your experiences with us. And some of them were pretty fantastical.
There's a question in the back. Yes.
Wait, yeah,
Are
repeat
there
the
any men in
question.
this group? There are in fact two, but they both had other commitments. The group is larger than this, but Tuesday afternoon, it seemed like everybody got a doctor's appointment. We're 14. Thank you for coming. Oh, another question?
How often do you get together? How often do you get together?
Every Monday.
Every Monday. Okay, thank you.
Would you ever consider coming to Oak Hammock and giving some of us a run through this? Doesn't have to be every week, but I will be fun. I think many people be interested in that experience and trying it out.
Well, let me somebody contact me and I will get back to you and we'll see if we can start an Oak Hammock improv group.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.